Barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. So, I want to talk about Stephen A. Smith and his rant he went off on Colin Kaepernick this morning. And I was in recovery mode because I was still in shock that Donald Trump actually won the election. You know, you fantasize about the idea of Donald Trump winning because of how America has treated us as black men, the black culture here in America, and you a part of, I would say, the majority of minorities wants to see America upset, but not like this, man. But Stephen A. Smith went on a rant about Colin Kaepernick and why, because he didn't vote. And the reason why, because he didn't vote, was magnified was because he didn't stand for the national anthem. Now, let's be clear. We all know, I'm maybe being rhetorical when I say this, but Francis Scott Keys was a racist and a slave owner, and he wrote the national anthem. Now, let's fast forward to 2016 as it relates to the election. Every American over the age of 18, I believe 18 you can vote, right, has what we call political capital. Every American, right? You have what's called political capital, and your political capital is your right to vote. It is your discretion when you should use it. You can be a Democrat and vote Republican. You can be a Republican and vote Democrat. You can be a Republican, Democrat, and vote Independent, vote Green Party, Libertarian, what freedom, whatever, peace and freedom, whatever you choose to, you have the right to do. But let's keep in mind, last year, Stephen A. Smith said black people should vote Republican one time. Well, this is their one time, right? Right. So, in a sense, or he said this on CNN. I feel free to go through my one of my last videos. You'll be able to hear his commentary on that. But when actuality, he was a part of that problem. Colin Kaepernick chose not to vote. Choosing not to vote is an action. That is not an action. Remember, our slaves, our ancestors, didn't fight out of ignorance. They fought for progressiveness, to be progressive, excuse me. Now, is voting for Hillary Clinton progressive? Is voting for Donald Trump a progressive move? Is voting for Johnson a progressive move? It's your choice. He thought it wasn't. He thought it was setting us back. Now, throughout the whole primary, I waited and waited and waited for Hillary Clinton to get out of her hotel suite, go down to Chicago, go down to Florida, go down to Cleveland, come to Los Angeles, where all these police shootings were happening. Talk to the community. She didn't do that. I waited for Trump to do that. And he says, this is a nation of law and order. And the moment he said that shit, it took me to a place where I've rarely been in my life. It's not mentally. I've rarely been, and so Stephen A. Smith needs to fully understand it is your right not to vote. It is your right to vote. You own your political capital to the day you die, age 18 and over. And I wish this would have happened this week leading into the Manny Pacquiao fight, because this angered me to the core, as you guys may have seen or may have heard, whether you saw it on my channel, whether you saw it on Dante's Boxing Nation channel. We wanted to interrogate him, but we had to respect that he gave us 40 minutes after. I know he had a 14-hour workday, and he gave us some time. And the last 10 minutes of the interview, you could tell that Dante and I silently agreed to start pressing. Right now let's fast forward. He said, I'm going to talk about my interview real quick with him. I I alluded to the point, should black athletes have their own union, the black union, right? And he went off, right? So where should blacks get their power from? Where should blacks co-join their power? If Hillary Clinton, it took her 30 years to get to this point, 40 years to get to this point, and she lose. Donald Trump, 2 years in, and he wins with no background. He chants systemic racism. You look at his rallies, it looks like a soft version of a Ku Klux Klan meeting, you know. But Stephen A. Smith is, and I want you guys to fully understand what I'm saying. He is the voice of the contemporary mature black man. Not because we want him, but because of the network that he's on. He's on ESPN in a prime morning slot. And he's gotten to be like Oprah. Whether you like him, love him, disagree with him, hate him, you've grown accustomed to listening to him, right? As he's become a part of your morning routine. Like me, I get up, do my morning due diligence, and I'm flipping back and forth between Fox Sports and ESPN as I'm going about my morning before I start my workday. And he's becoming a cancer, you know? And I have no doubt, like 78 Sports TV says, someone's going to kick his ass. And he's long overdue. Like at the end of that video, the end of his rant when he says he ain't no punk. Man, let's be clear. A 49-year-old man cannot compete with a 26, 27-year-old man and professional athlete in his prime. I mean, not unless you're Herschel Walker, right? But outside of that, to even suggest tells you where he's coming from. He's coming for his head as opposed to talking about him. Like he wanted him to kick rocks. He don't want the media to cover him anymore. Why didn't he have this visceral effect when Josh Brown? Why did he have this visceral effect when Tom Brady and Bill Belichick said that they voting for Donald Trump? You know? Donald Trump is... Here's my belief on Donald Trump. This should be a different video, but I'm going to summarize it real quick. He's a guy that got into it. He's probably sitting on the couch one day and said, you know, I should run for president. And he got momentum, got some confidence. And the momentum just build and build and build. He got to the primary, like, hold up. I'm still going to do what I want to do. Let's see if I can pull off this Republican primary. Oh, man, I did that. So, and now we look at yesterday. He's the president of America. The president-elect, right? But Stephen A. Smith, I'm pretty sure Bob Aaron will hire you again. And I'm pretty sure I will see you again. I don't know how and where, but I know I will see you again somehow, somewhere. And when I see you again, I obviously have to respect you as a man. I'm not going to challenge you to a fight or anything like that, but I'm going to immediately start the questions off with how my disposition is completely opposite, polar opposites of where you stand as it relates to black men and how you would publicly attack black men in a majority white forum. You know, there are silent codes that men do that most of us should abide by. And if we break these rules, it's either by a firm necessity or you just simply forget. Like small examples, like a man should never talk to a woman when another man is talking to that woman. Right? A man should never glorify having sex with other women, not unless it's to his friends, his core friends. You know, this is what real men do. Men don't hit women. And as a black man, you never ever disrespect a black man or a black woman in a public forum because you give other people the right to do the same. It's like using the N-word. I don't use the word nigga around my white friends, or I use it around when I'm with my people. And some people might say, well, I may throw that word out, but I'm just speaking my truth, you know. But Stephen A. I mean, it's getting to the point where it's beyond coon, because coon is an undertone. Because the reason why I say that is because he has the wherewithal. He has the mental fortitude. A person like Lil Wayne is gone. You know, Stephen A. Smith has, quote unquote, the education and ability to articulate how he feels and understand the cause and effect of everything that he say and does in the media, on his TV show. And he's a millionaire. So with great success comes great responsibility. And he is failing us. And I've listened to a few of you guys' videos, Ticket TV, 78 Sports, Town Biz. Yeah, Town Biz. I don't know what the Town Business. I've listened to him. Yeah, Town Biz JS. I've listened to him. And it just bothers me that Stephen A. Smith is not listening to his inner man. Or, oh, no. I apologize. Maybe that is who he is. Maybe there's a white man inside of him, like in them cartoons and shit, like Voltron, you know what I mean? Just manipulating him. But I was just, overall, man, I was just beside myself. And there's no coming back from Stephen A. Smith from this. And there's nothing Stephen A. Smith can say or do that can take back what he said about Colin Kaepernick. The toughest thing Colin Kaepernick had to do was take a knee or sit down. The most right thing I believe he did to support him taking a knee was not vote within the same system that is denying people that look like him and have the same feeling or sentiment that he has, that's not portrayed in the election that he's supposed to vote for. I actually applaud Colin Kaepernick. I applaud that young black girl in Philadelphia that took 7th Street. I applaud that young black girl that sang the national anthem on a knee with the Black Lives Matter shirt. I applaud them. I go to Black Lives Matter meetings. As a matter of fact, there's a meeting tomorrow here in Los Angeles. You know, so don't be fooled, man. I encourage all of us to stand our ground. Stand our ground. Continue to speak up for what you believe in, because as you saw the votes, you saw poor white people frustrated with the system in which they live in. So now, don't you think we have the same power, getting back to our political capital? It's not that the white people are racist. In addition to them being racist, they are fed up just like poor black people. And Stephen A. Smith knows, in order to keep his ratings up and not lose his job, he have to appease them poor white people. He can piss poor black people off, because we gonna tune in just to call him a coon. And I know 78 Sports said he wouldn't watch Stephen A. Smith again, but you need to watch him, because you need to hold him accountable. Believe me, he's watching some of these videos. 78, you have a big channel, so I assume his friends sends him these videos. You know, so continue to hold his hand to the fire. And like Town Business says, call ESPN, his sponsors, all of that stuff. You know, and because every little bit counts. But he needs to step aside and let Shannon Sharp do what he do, right? So anyways, barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. I support you, Colin Kaepernick. in you taking the knee and not standing up for the national anthem. Because I'll tell you this, and a lot of people won't admit to this, Colin Kaepernick taught me something. I learned a lot from Colin Kaepernick. I became a stronger man watching Colin Kaepernick take a knee. I didn't know. I'm an educated black man from the streets of Harlem, from the streets of South Central LA, the inner city, and I never knew that there was an additional stanza to the national anthem. And to look at Colin Kaepernick with an afro, half black, I believe he's half black, half whatever, he's mixed, to stand up for black rights. Come on, man. Come on. And if that's not inspiring, if that doesn't build courage or strength within you, what will as a black man? So anyways, barbershop conversations. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. I think we need to come up with a new word for Stephen A. Smith. He's beyond coon. Literally beyond coon. And I appreciate all you guys too. I know I got a bunch of new subscribers. I genuinely appreciate you guys. And we'll get back to boxing, but this has just been such an overwhelming last 48 hours that I'm actually using this. I'm actually using YouTube as a cathartic experience. So I appreciate you guys bearing with me. And boxing is coming back. We got a big fight week this week, as you guys know. And we got, for me personally, I have a big fight week next week. And we'll bring it back then. But I know I've done like 8 videos. 8 out of my last 10 videos has probably been on Stephen A. Smith and this election. But we'll get back to it. Barbershop conversations. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace, guys.
You already know what it is. It's Barbershop Conversations. Hit the subscribe and the like button today.